The narrative begins with an ethereal description of the world's beginning. Stars fall from the sky as a glimmering sea is described. Despite the gorgeous curtain of light, there's a pervasive sense of loneliness. The scene shifts to the beginning of the world, where countless prayers spread, suggesting belief in miracles. A mysterious figure introduces themselves as the Traveler of the Stars. They explain that this turbulent space-time could collapse at any moment. The Traveler guides the listener, instructing them to use blue floating clothes to navigate this strange environment. They encourage jumping over obstacles, using the power of floating, cautioning about landing points. The journey continues as they notice a star that might be lost. The Traveler invites someone named Nikki to take the Starlight and extends their hand. The environment is described as filled with stars, with the narrator having fallen from the starry sky. There are countless failed worlds visible as they receive the invitation of the moon. Shadows increase as they approach the starry sky. The scenery is described as ephemeral, soon to disappear like bubbles. The Traveler warns not to get caught in the scream of space-time. They're heading to the center of the starry sky, with their destination close by. The waves of space-time are accumulating, signaling the imminent collapse of the world. Stars bounce and fall, as the scene will soon be swallowed by space-time distortion. Everything is compared to fireworks, momentarily brilliant before disappearing. Despite the beauty of the end, there's urgency. A night wave of collapse approaches. Nikki is instructed to follow the starry sky where the Traveler waits. Determination rings through as the narrator refuses to give up until their last wish is granted. They promise to protect everyone and keep fighting. A pink star is mentioned as a faint hope guides them. The world begins to color and breathe as stars guide until dawn. The narrator is no longer alone. The scene shifts dramatically as someone awakens, questioning if previous events were a dream. The Traveler clarifies that it wasn't a dream, but reality, their own memory. The person's world has been engulfed by the abyss. The Traveler explains they picked them up at the world's end to give another chance to start over. The Traveler admits wanting to be remembered, calling the listener their dear pink star and declaring them special. They explain that the fate of the world is in their hands. Despite one world perishing, this endless world will open another path. The setting is described as the source and end of all things. A conversation begins between two individuals named Nikki and Momo. Momo introduces herself as someone born from clothes filled with wishes and tells Nikki a story about her good friend. This friend would bring Momo beautiful pieces of cloth and ornaments as gifts, and they would grow pumpkins together and count stars. Momo continues her story, explaining that her friend suddenly disappeared one day. The friend left on a journey with bubbles, traveling to a far place on a light bubble to find a way to make all lives happy. Momo saw her landing on a rainbow-colored island called Urakuto. The conversation is interrupted when they notice Suzuka hurrying away. Believing Suzuka has seen someone named Miki and has something important to tell them, Nikki and Momo decide to follow her, also needing to return a bell to her. They follow Suzuka, who appears to be leading them somewhere with her rainbow-colored catapult tail. Their pursuit leads them to a location with many bubbles and a rainbow lake, matching the story Sheila had mentioned. From their vantage point, they can see a village in the distance. The scene shifts to what appears to be a bubble-related activity or game with instructions about accuracy, rhythm, and how to catch bubbles. Nikki and Momo introduce themselves to locals, who are surprised to see human visitors on Urakuto. The locals explain that the Bubble Festival, Urakuto's biggest celebration featuring bubbles, cloth, perfume, and special performances, has been postponed. This is due to a disease affecting old cloth that causes dirt and hallucinations, requiring lucky charms as protection. Nikki and Momo meet Toplin, the village head of the Blue Village and champion of Akasuri. They inquire about clothes being treated for the disease. Toplin explains that hundreds of years ago, most residents were infected with a plague, but were saved by a guardian who left behind knowledge about perfume treatment. Toplin shows them around the village, including living quarters and a bubble bath area. He mentions there are 2 villages on the island, their current location and another on top of Sekiju Island, though the connection between them is currently broken. They meet Guto, who is acting unusually talkative. After Guto leaves, it's explained that Guto was once involved in an accident during a landslide and began seeing hallucinations. Since no one believed his stories, he became withdrawn and silent. The village chief has prepared accommodations called the Goro Goro House for their stay. They learn more about the island's troubled history, including a period called the Great Repair and a flood of disease that was stopped by guardians. The guardians left 2 gold sources, one of which is in the forbidden foothills of the fog, home to sacred Ginsayanaki. A group encounters what they initially believed to be a monster, causing surprise and laughter. It's clarified that this was just a rumor. Someone mentions carrying bubble essence, which will be used as material for making detergent, and plans to check on Guto. Nikki suggests taking a break. Someone returns a bell, and the group decides to follow a doll spirit. They observe that the spirit seems familiar with Urakuto, likely living there, though no one knows about him. The group wonders what the spirit is trying to tell them, noting that it appears to have been guiding them. Toplin meets with a grandmother figure who mentions that the condition of the infestation is stable. She advises taking a bath in the blue pool next time to prevent clothes from being ruined. She mentions sending infected people to Burin village and preparing for an abalone festival. The group encounters someone who reveals they were passing by. Upon inquiry about the infection department, this person explains that both perfumes are ineffective against dung disease, despite multiple washing attempts. They plan to send infected people to Burin village to use pure salt treatment. There's a problem with perforated systems in the passage system with unknown cause or solution. Someone with purification abilities offers to help fix it. The village chief offers rewards, including the title of Akasuri champion. They discuss a mysterious doll, but no one has seen it. The focus shifts to purifying the passage system first. The village chief has informed others about the purification abilities. Someone expresses their love for stories and friends, mentioning story meetings that had to be postponed due to passage system issues. They discuss a story about a monster who hates taking baths, which connects to rumors about cloths avoiding perfume. At the water quality measurement station, the group meets veteran members of the Nunoji Exploration Club. They learn that dirt is affecting multiple areas, including the Guardian statue and Bubble Flower Field. The cloth cutters are located on a stone tree in a high place difficult for humans to reach. The group explores an abandoned area that shows signs of previous habitation and what appears to be battle aftermath. They wonder what happened on the abandoned island as they navigate obstacles. They aim at small targets to progress, discovering evidence that humans once lived in the area of old stone. A conversation unfolds about Ginsayonaki's rest at Kiri no Itadaki with warnings that no one should disturb this rest. It's mentioned that nobody knows the way to Kiri no Itadaki, or if they do, they never return. The group discusses Guto's claim of having been there, though some express disbelief that someone who conquered such a challenging location would still be doing mundane work instead of leading the Nunoji Exploration Club. The day's exploration concludes with one character mentioning they have cloth-squeezing work waiting at home. Despite disliking work, they view it as necessary training to become a great explorer. The conversation shifts to searching for the next current system, indicating ongoing exploration activities. A character is praised for their bravery and alertness, being gifted an all-in-one detergent exclusive to Namakenu. They discuss the successful purification of a current system. The conversation reveals that someone was making adjustments to the detergent and had the idea to add Senrika's root extract, which angered others who chased after them for taking the extract. Lucy is noticed to have dirt on her body, which she dismisses as something she can wash off at the bathhouse. However, someone suggests she avoid the bathhouse and instead go to Bolin village with other officials, hinting at problems with the perfume's effectiveness in removing dirt. The current system was purified specifically to restore the road connecting the two villages. A village chief and Mr. Reverb have been meeting frequently. Mr. Reverb advised against getting close to the government and recommended self-delivery of necessary items. There's uncertainty about what will happen in Bolin village, but hope that purifying the stream system will resolve issues. Nikki is invited to a location to discuss something important. Nikki and Momo arrive at a meeting with Guto and others who are avoiding treatment for nanofluvia. It's revealed that this disease causes hallucinations or possibly resurfaces old memories, and many are refusing treatment because they don't want to lose these memory fragments. Guto admits to helping others escape treatment and asks for Nikki's help in persuading everyone to get proper care. A character reminisces about floating in the sky, comparing it to bubbles. They reveal they were once a curtain in a home where they listened to family conversations, including a mother who talked about her sister working as a village protector with Spana and Kua. The memory resurfaced during their illness, bringing happiness and a wish for the family's continued well-being. A character named Fluff expresses desire for a dog, recalling memories of having one while living with their grandmother. The dog and grandmother both aged, marking the inevitable passage of time. Fluff worries about losing these precious memories if treated with perfume, but is reassured that drawing the dog might help preserve the memory. Despite being unable to leave the island, they decide to heal first. A character named Fua recalls memories about their mother. When they awoke on the island, they chose their name after hearing a gentle voice. During their recent illness, they remembered how their mother would comfort them when hurt by saying, "It hurts, fly away, Fua Fua." This phrase continues to bring comfort when their body experiences pain. A touching conversation reveals a child named Fua who resists treatment for their pain, fearing they'll lose memories of their mother. The human sister reassures Fua that memories won't fade when the pain is gone, promising to help remember together. Fua agrees to return to the village for treatment, understanding this would relieve their mother's worries. Guto expresses guilt for hiding everyone's condition, having prepared brushes and detergent to clean everyone. He hadn't expected the perfume concealing their symptoms to stop working. The others comfort him, recognizing his efforts to protect everyone while preparing for treatment. They believe the stories people are experiencing aren't hallucinations, but real memories triggered by proximity to impurity. Someone shares their experience getting lost among evil spirits during the Pure Salt Action accident. Upon returning to the village, they felt personally changed. They recalled fragments of memories, beautiful clothes, decorations, embraces of important people. Initially, they experienced pain, fatigue, sadness, trudging a steep road filled with wars, disasters, and monsters until finding warmth and rest. Unlike others, this person never had the cloth disease, a condition that hadn't appeared on the island for a long time. They expressed desire to investigate the disease's source while helping with care in Buren village once they recover. The thread system has been purified, with the heart of the thread beginning to recover and store water again. The group celebrates the thread heart's recovery. Guto's secret about hiding the cloth disease is discussed. There's sympathy for him feeling isolated after an accident changed how people treated him. Though some consider his visions hallucinations, others acknowledge memories aren't easily forgotten. It's revealed Guto wasn't originally from Urakuto, as his visions showed a place without bubbles or rainbows. The conversation shifts to upcoming events like the Bubble Festival. The village chief requests Nikki investigate the cause of Nunaful's disease, offering the title of Bubble Ambassador in exchange. Nikki also promises to find an example of Wan's clothes, for which the chief still has a bell. They prepare to wake the dragon's heart and travel to the village. After awakening the dragon's heart, Nikki senses gratitude from it. They discover many examples of clothes and witness villagers engaged in an endurance match, a tradition where cloth, covered with pure salt, endures heat, with the last surviving cloth declared winner. They learn the cloth disease affects both the tough cloth of their group and the soft cloth of the village. The village's treatment is progressing well under Chief Harina's care. Nikki is directed to investigate the cloth disease at the pure salt processing plant. At the plant, they find a sauna-like environment and witness Harina ordering the factory to stop for proper investigation of the cloth disease. When Nikki and Momo introduce themselves, Harina reveals they've heard about them from Topran. Harina begins sharing history about their relationship with Topran. They were once best friends hundreds of years ago, but apparently had differences. Topran, like others, wanted to plant things on the ground: bubbles, flowers, rolling pumpkins, and rainbows. This suggests a long-standing relationship and possibly the source of current tensions between villages. Someone named Topran remained in the Blue Village, becoming a champion. After Raraya is sent ahead, a private conversation reveals a critical issue. The power of perfume is diminishing, and there are problems with the village's treatments. No one anticipated the Guardians would lose their power, but there is hope for finding a new treatment, as they previously survived the Great Repair Era and the Nunaful disease epidemic. Symptoms of the Nunaful disease appear after a process called foaming. As a precaution, the pure salt processing plant has been temporarily closed, though no abnormalities have been detected so far. The disease mysteriously spread rapidly in the Blue Village. It is suggested to question the Guardians about events before and after foaming. The Guardians from their village are at the Fastarita Treatment Center, while several others from the Blue Village can be spoken to directly. Information about infection times and discovery locations is collected. A staff member comments on being exceptionally tired due to the high number of patients, comparable to a previous accident. Miss Rita is introduced, and it's revealed that the visitors previously fixed a dragon's heart and are now investigating the Denafol disease on Topran's behalf. They seek information from authorities in both the current location and Buren village. The pure salt cure has become ineffective even in high concentrations. Rita, a repair doctor who experienced the Great Repair Era, explains this historical period when all cloth was damaged, buttons fell off, and fabric became wrinkled. Stylists managed to preserve fabric and collect materials to repair it, though many stylists' fabrics wore out. Without them, Urakuto would not exist, which is why they're respectfully called repair doctors. A witness describes seeing a large shadow jump from a stone pillar and tear cloth apart. When asked about seeing a hole, they describe something long and dark with no visible end. Rita had indicated their condition wasn't severe enough for serious hallucinations. The conversation shifts to meeting others who experienced cloth disease, including someone preparing for a romantic date when symptoms appeared. A key discovery emerges. While one person typically obtained pure salt from Riraya, they received a free sample from someone selling it at Bulan Bazaar and used it in a pond of lust. Another person suffering from what they thought was exhaustion from training had been using pure salt in a sauna and for polishing Goro hammers. The investigators realize pure salt is the common factor among those affected. The investigation reveals that pure salt is indeed the cause of the disease. Multiple affected individuals purchased cheap, pure salt from a merchant known as Shade who only appears at night. The investigators decide to visit the Boleyn Bazaar at night to question Shade about the contaminated product. At the bazaar, they locate Shade, selling what appears to be normal pure salt. Through clever questioning, they discover Shade has been selling discounted, special route pure salt. When confronted about a suspicious purple discoloration, Shade admits to finding an undiscovered vein. This location matches descriptions from patients, but dark hole with interference that resembles a long hill. The hole had previously collapsed, making it inaccessible. While exploring, someone discovered the spirit of Wan's clothes. They saw her briefly hiding behind a stone, but she disappeared. After finding an obstacle further ahead, they collected pure salt and returned home. They realized the hill they saw might be connected to Kirino Itadaki, a place many believe is just a rumor. Nikki and another person decide to speak privately. They plan to visit Boleyn Bazaar at night, suspecting Seed may have a spirit of clothes. Guto reveals he has been to Kirino Itadaki during the fall accident. While escaping, he went into a hole and was surrounded by deep fog that erased his path back. He sensed a monster pursuing him, but heard a flute sound. The shadow in the fog stared at him, triggering nostalgic feelings. Guto questions whether the entity was a guardian and wonders about mysterious sights, Senka's family, and vague memories. The alleyway connected to this place was closed after the accident. He believes the passageway behind the alley connects to the edge of fog and must find a way in. Despite others' doubts, Mickey understands the connections between damaged piercings, dirty doll clothes, and Guto's experiences. Though understanding why others doubt him, Guto refuses to forget the guardian who protected him in the fog. Mickey encourages searching for answers, even if they might find only illusions. They decide to tell Harina, the village head, about the dirty pure salt and journey toward the fog. Later, they discover many shiny stones that appear to be pure salt, examining their color, shine, and smell. They determine the cause of contaminated pure salt is from Shade secretly digging in a sealed action area. Harina admits knowing about the hidden passage and investigating after the accident. She apologizes for refusing Guto's earlier investigation request and lying about obstacles. Now understanding the connection to Nunifil disease, she asks Nikki to investigate the action's back passage. They encounter what appears to be a doll's clothes example. Guto returns a horn to it, asking why it lives in such a dangerous place and if it knows about the Guardian. As they follow it, they reach the fog's edge. Despite growing weakness, they pursue the doll example into the fog, encountering something threatening within. After confrontation, they find a Guardian's diary, revealing the Guardians sealed a monster as their prison, consuming fog and dirt to maintain peace on Ulak Island. The Guardian left a message about a perfume source washing away impurity. Having fought for centuries, the Guardian became impure itself, but left a flute to guide others to safety. They realized a perfume prescription was false. The Guardian had overcome plague by sealing monsters, but recently lost control. Though they purified 2 monsters, the Guardian remains deeply contaminated from centuries with monsters. They resolve to find the Spring of the Fall, which might wash away impurities, though some believe it's merely a metaphor. Inspired by Nikki, Guto decides to search for the Spring of the Fall, hoping to deliver its miracle to the Guardian. Others join the search for clues. Nikki is thanked as a hero of the Guardian, with promises their help won't be forgotten. Nikki expresses happiness at helping everyone and hopes the beautiful scenery of the fall continues forever.